Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of RiesKitchen. Today for our Christmas special we're making a French classic, seared scallops with a beurre blanc. This is one of those dishes that looks really fancy but is only going to take you away from your guests for about 10 or 15 minutes. There's not many ingredients, in fact probably the least ingredients we've ever had. Let's get straight into it, shall we? So first up we have a shallot or an eschalot, some chopped chives, some unsalted butter, some dry white wine, Sauv Blanc for me of course, some scallops, pepper and oil. That's it. Let's get straight in. Now there's two ways to purchase your scallops. You can purchase them loose, as I have here today, or you can purchase them on the shell. If you're purchasing them on the shell, you'll need to remove them from the shell to be able to cook them, but also make sure that you clean it really well underneath because it tends to get a bit of sand and grit underneath. These shells I've used over many years. After I've used them, I then just wipe them clean with a damp cloth and make sure they're really dry before I put them away, and they last for years. I believe you can also buy them from your fishmongers or online. And I probably need to change some of these because they're getting a little bit broken after all the decades, but they're perfect. If you don't have them, you don't need them. They're just to make it look a bit posher. Now let's talk about the scallop. Some less reputable fishmongers will soak their scallops in water and to make them plumper when you're purchasing them. Well, to do that, they also change colour a bit and they go quite white. What you want is a goldeny, slightly tanny coloured scallop, not the super white ones. The super white ones have been soaked, and all you're going to do when you cook them is they're going to lose all that water and shrink on you and spatter as you're cooking them. So slightly yellow, you can leave the roe bit on them, that's beautiful and sweet and will go very well in this dish. And this way, by buying them loose, the fishmonger's already done all the cleaning for me, so I don't have to do that work. So let's get started on our beurre blanc. Beurre blanc literally means white butter sauce. In Australia, of course, our butter is quite yellow compared to the wonderful butter from Normandy in France. So although we're calling it beurre blanc, it's definitely going to be yellow, not white. So let's start. The first thing is I have chopped my shallot up as absolutely as fine as I can. Pop that into the pot, and into that I'm going to add my white wine, and I'm going to put that on medium, and I am going to cook it until it basically turns almost into a mush, goes really soft. It'll take a couple of minutes. So we're down to about half the liquid. Still a little way to go, not mushy yet, still a bit of bite to the eschalots when I squeeze them with the spoon. So pretty much now my wine has evaporated and I've got quite a mush. I don't want it to brown, so I'm just really careful to when it's ready, and I can start adding my butter. I'm going to add my butter really slowly. I'm just going to drop my temperature of my pan just a little bit. I don't want this to brown off. So I'm going to add the butter, and I want to emulsify that into the wine and shallot mix that we have here as it starts to melt. So I'm just using a little whisk, and we go slowly one at a time. If you think that the butter is really just frying your shallots, take your pan off the heat for a second. So now that that first one's all worked in, I'm going to add the second knob of butter. And what we're going to end up with is a beautiful liquid that's not separating, that is the consistency of runny custard. And it'll just thicken as we go. And the whisking's almost done, last piece. And you'll see it's lovely and thick. It's just gorgeous. It smells so good. You just want to get a spoon in there and eat it. So all my butter is now worked in, and I have this beautiful, quite thick consistency. I'm going to turn it down onto the keep warm function. In fact, I'm going to put it over on the side there. I want to keep it warm while I spend a couple of minutes with our shallots. But this is ready. The only thing left to do is have a quick taste. Oh no, that doesn't need any more acidity. Sometimes you might find that you want to add a squeeze of lemon, but that's got a beautiful balance. That doesn't need any more. Okay, so I'm just going to put it on the side and on keep warm and give it a quick stir in between. So now we can get on to our scallops. So I've got my pan here heating up, and I just want to put just the smallest amount of oil on there. Really, I'm just going to smear it on with some paper towel. My scallops I've patted down, and I'm just going to put a little bit of cracked pepper over them. So now, gently pop the scallop. I keep wanting to call them the shallot. Pop the scallop in, and 3 minutes. So now we'll turn them over. And another 2 minutes, and we're done. How quick is that? So I have my shells, and I'm just going to pick up these beautiful juicy morsels. And the final step is to spoon some of our beautiful sauce over each one. And now just a sprinkle of chive, just to help the colour pop. So we don't have to wait with these ones. These are ready to eat right now. Now for all the details of this, our 120th episode of RiesKitchen, don't forget to check out my blog at the link below. But as always, the best bits in the eating. Golly gee, the French know how to do things. The sweetness of the scallop, there's that acidity in the beurre blanc. This is just perfectly balanced. Your guests will think this has got the wow factor. They'll think you're amazing. And really, it's 15 minutes from go to woe. Just delightful. So from Miles and I and everyone here at RiesKitchen, wishing everyone a very Merry Christmas and a safe New Year. Until next time, everybody. Ciao.